Leaving office in 1977, he carried in his wallet a scrap of a 1915 Supreme Court ruling. A pardon, the excerpt said, carries an imputation of guilt, and acceptance of a pardon is a confession of it. Scott Shane. They were called the 30 Tyrants. In the summer of 404 BCE, after Sparta defeated Athens in the Peloponnesian War, they led a political coup, producing a repressive and brutal oligarchy during their 8-month rule. During that time, they killed between 5 and 10% of the citizens and expelled more than half of the population. Afterward, the leaders of Athens, restoring democracy, adopted an amnesty. This kind of removal from legal liability protected all participants of the former regime from exile or legal accountability, except for the highest officials. Apparently, these efforts helped ancient Athens avoid the cycles of revolution and counter-revolution familiar in other areas. The amnesty was not just a political expedient, but evidence of admirable moderation and character. Aggrieved individuals, even in unrelated lawsuits, could introduce character evidence about the behavior of their opponents during the tyrant's rule as an outlet for continuing resentments. This use of amnesty represents a classic example of a legal mechanism for clemency, canceling past grievances, and offering a fresh start for all. In court speeches for years thereafter, speakers crafted the story of the amnesty as evidence of Athenian forbearance, generosity, reasonableness, and wisdom. Jurors and leaders swore oaths marking conciliatory attitudes toward those who did not directly cause them harm. Transitions could be peaceful and could strengthen the rule of law even without truth-telling or direct sanctions against most of the perpetrators of the mass violence. Offers of amnesty might accelerate the end of a war or strengthen chances of a durable peace. Offers of amnesty, combined with community service or rituals and truth-telling efforts, might provide a fair tool in assisting former child soldiers and their communities. As the nation that incarcerates more people than any other society in history, the United States could do well to consider making greater use of forgiveness mechanisms. But so far, the yearly ritual of a presidential Thanksgiving pardon for a live turkey has had more cultural resonance than pardons or commutations for prison inmates. The spirit of second chances embedded in bankruptcy shows a long-standing legal and cultural embrace of forgiveness in the context of economic breaches. Why not build more avenues for second chances into the legal treatment of criminality, not only for those charged for crimes when juveniles, but also for adults through clemency? Amnesty is a device available through legislation, through the executive power of a king, president, or governor, and through courts. It can be used to ease a political transition, to acknowledge a shift in policy, to recognize service or rehabilitation, or indeed for any reason, given its origins in political power and in the divine right of kings. In 2016, Tajikistan marked the 25th anniversary of its independence from the Soviet Union with a criminal justice amnesty, releasing more than 3,000 inmates from prison, pardoning 4,000 people with suspended sentences, and shortening the sentences of 5,000 others. King Norodom Sihanouk of Cambodia granted amnesty in 1996 to nearly all prisoners, including perpetrators of Khmer Rouge atrocities, with the stated motivation of fairness and the unstated context of a peace process following civil war and political transition. President Ronald Reagan and Congress orchestrated the 1986 amnesty for undocumented immigrants, allowing 2.7 million people to apply for jobs, open bank accounts, build credit, and buy home if they had lived continuously in the country before 1982 and applied for a green card while paying a $185 fee.